On Citrus TV News Live at 6, a week-long manhunt in Oklahoma is over after the suspect engaged in a shootout with police.
Plus, thousands of people are homeless following a massive earthquake over the weekend.
And the Chicago Cubs and Cleveland Indians continue to make World Series history with ticket selling for record high numbers. Citrus TV News starts right now.
From the Citrus TV studios, this is Citrus TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening, I'm Lauren Anderson.
And I'm Michael Tricarico. Security cameras might be coming to off-campus neighborhoods. That's our top story tonight.
Crimes like robberies and car break-ins are all too common in the area around Syracuse University, and neighbors are calling for better security.
The SU Student Government Association is working to help out by pushing for security cameras to be installed in various locations near campus. Citrus TV reporter Maria Cinti has the story.
Shocked. Honestly, I just remember freezing in complete and utter shock. Who is this person and why are they here right now?
That was Syracuse University student Kimberly Flatley's reaction the first time someone broke into her home on Euclid Avenue this summer. She says another break-in occurred only 2 weeks later, prompting Kimberly and her roommates to get an alarm system and change the locks.
We were really uneasy and freaked out just because it had happened twice at this point, and we didn't really know if there was anything we could do to stop it from happening again.
In order to prevent more home invasions like this, Syracuse University Student Association is working to have 49 security cameras placed amongst the streets outside of campus. Now they plan on having the first 8 stretched here along Euclid Avenue, but the other 41, they'll be going out there to the areas most in need of surveillance and protection. Syracuse University's Department of Public Safety does not have jurisdiction over the areas involved in the project, but DPS Chief Robert Maldonado says the department will still intervene with cases involving university students.
Our role remains the same. It's consistent whether we have cameras or not. It's always good to have the more resources you have available to you, the better off you are.
Although the security cameras will help prevent some crime happening in the areas outside of campus, Maldonado advises local residents to make sure their homes have adequate lighting and the locks on their doors work properly.
Keep your landlord honest and make sure that they're providing you with, an apartment that's safe and secure. And also that when you see something, that you say something.
Colder weather is approaching and people are in need of winter coats. Students on campus can help by donating to the Winter Coat Drive in Hendricks Chapel. The Office of Engagement is holding the program now until November 11th. The donated items will go to the Rescue Mission Alliance. Newer used coats, hats, gloves, and boots can be dropped off in Hendricks Chapel, the Shine Student Center, and Goldstein Student Center. And a Central New York high school is celebrating following the New York State Band Championships held yesterday in the Carrier Dome. The Cicero North Syracuse High School Marching Band placed first in its class, becoming state champs. More than 4,000 students from 50 high schools across New York, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey competed in the 43rd annual event. Each band had 10 minutes to perform in front of the judges with thousands of spectators.
The Syracuse University Office of Disability Services is hosting a series of disability awareness training programs this week. Events include an overview of ADA responsibilities, a rundown of campus initiatives, and a conversation about inclusion at Syracuse University. The event begins Tuesday at the Sheridan and continues Wednesday at Byrd Library. BET executive Carol Cunningham is speaking on campus tomorrow. The Syracuse alum has more than 2 decades of experience in corporate media research. The talk will focus on multicultural influencers and upcoming trend centers in the industry. The talk begins at 6:30 at the I-3 Center in Newhouse.
Tonight, trick-or-treaters can go from door to door or from store to store. More than 200 stores, restaurants, and other places in the Destiny USA Mall will be giving out candy until 7 o'clock tonight. Officials say it will be a safe and warm way to have fun with kids this Halloween. A few showings of the Eddie Murphy film Haunted Mansion will be in the canyon. And 2 men have been charged in connection with a shooting at a Halloween party that left 2 women dead and 5 others injured. Police say the incident occurred shortly before 1 o'clock yesterday inside an apartment building north of New York City. Authorities say 2 men are charged with tampering with evidence and possession of a weapon, but aren't charged with the killing. The men are being held on bail.
Up next, an accident at a popular racetrack in Virginia left 22 people injured.
And a merger within General Electric will bring their oil and gas businesses together to become a major player. Stay tuned for more on Citrus TV News live at 6.
Halloween has finally arrived, and that means November begins tomorrow. What type of temperatures can you expect for Halloween night, and can we expect a change in temperature as we head into November? I'll tell you coming up in my full forecast.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 977. Now my blood pressure's up.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
The man who went on a violent crime spree in Oklahoma is dead. Michael Vance Jr. was killed by police late last night after a week-long manhunt. Vance was on the run after allegedly killing 2 relatives and shooting 2 police officers. Police tracked down his vehicle thanks to an anonymous tip, and Vance shot at officers before fleeing the scene. 1 sheriff was injured, and police chased Vance, killing him after a second shootout.
The FBI has a warrant to search newly found emails in the Hillary Clinton server investigation. FBI Director James Comey announced in a letter Friday the Bureau is reopening its investigation into the presidential candidate, just 11 days before the election, after finding new emails that are pertinent. These emails were discovered on former New York Congressman Anthony Weiner's computer during a sexting investigation. Earlier this year, Comey recommended the former Secretary of State not to face any charges for using a private email server.
22 fans were hit by a car in the parking lot after a NASCAR race on Sunday in Virginia. The motorist is in custody for questioning after the Chevrolet ran into pedestrians. Investigators said that alcohol was not a factor in the accident. And a Martinsville Speedway spokesman said that 9 people were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries and others were treated on the scene.
Hundreds of passengers have safely arrived in Dallas after their plane was delayed in Florida due to a bomb threat. A Spirit Airlines flight was delayed for several hours after a passenger saw a suspicious message on another passenger's phone. That person was escorted off of the plane, and authorities checked and cleared the airplane. No details on the escorted passenger are available.
Protesters over the Dakota Access Pipeline continue to escalate, with more than 140 people arrested last week. But over the weekend, a herd of wild bison temporarily eased tensions between police and protesters, as thousands of bison ran through the Standing Rock camp in the midst of a standoff. Protesters erupted in cheers, and members of the Standing Rock Sioux tribe say they have been praying for assistance, but this wasn't exactly what they expected. Thousands of Native Americans have been protesting the construction since the spring, and more than 400 people have been arrested since August.
Supporters of a Turkish newspaper are protesting against the Turkish government. 13 Turkish journalists were detained and accused of publishing stories that legitimized the attempted coup in July. The journalists are accused of being enemies of the state. Last year, the editor-in-chief of the same newspaper was arrested for publishing a story about Turkey selling arms to Syria.
Iraqi forces are closing in on the ISIS stronghold in Mosul. The assault began 2 weeks ago, and now less than 2 kilometers separate the Iraqi fighters and the border of the city. Iraqi forces are expected to enter the city as early as today. More than 100,000 Iraqi forces began the assault earlier this month. The coalition isn't expecting ISIS to surrender the city without a bloody fight.
A 6.6 magnitude earthquake struck central Italy yesterday morning just outside the town of Norcia. So far, there have been no reported deaths. However, 15,000 people are still without power and living in temporary shelters. Yesterday's earthquake follows a series of smaller tremors that shook the country last week. Italy also experienced a similar magnitude earthquake in August that killed nearly 300 people. Since the earthquake, there have been hundreds of aftershocks around central Italy as Italian authorities continue to assess the damage near and around the quake's epicenter.
More than 30 miners in Chong, China are missing after presumed trapped after a gas explosion in a Chinese coal mine. 35 miners were working at the time of the explosion on Monday morning, and 2 escaped from the mine, but the other 33 are missing. Last month, illegal mining caused a gas explosion which killed 20 miners.
It's a little chilly out today, but what will the weather be like tonight for trick-or-treating?
Galat Malamed is here with what to expect with your weekly forecast. Galat.
So this is what trick-or-treating across America is going to look like tonight. Out here in the west and here in the northeast, going to be pretty chilly, 40s, even some 30s all the way up north. Middle of the country, pretty mild, 60s, 70s, and real nice in the deep south, 80s, even a couple 90s down in South Florida, so they can wear whatever they want. Current forecast, 43 degrees. This is around the October average, but as you know, heading into November tomorrow, the winds are pretty low at 3 miles per hour, so it wasn't as cold as we would expect. Current temperatures across the area, mid-40s across the board. Syracuse here at 43, low 40s up in Fulton and Rome. Waking up tomorrow, 8 a.m., 36 degrees. It's going to be a sunny morning, but it's going to get cloudier as you head into the afternoon. Tomorrow's full forecast, 9 a.m., 39 degrees, noon, 53, and going to be really nice in the evening at 56 degrees. No precipitation, and it's going to be the nicest day this week. Looking at our regional surface analysis for tomorrow, some clouds over the area, but no precipitation. The pressure system's way west of us. And 5-day forecast tomorrow, high of 59, low of 51. Wednesday going to be rainy, but a high of 62. Thursday, high of 55, low of 38. Friday, going to be pretty sunny at a high of 43, pretty cool at a low of 36, and Saturday, pretty mild at 48.
All right, Gilad, now that November is tomorrow, when can we expect more of a drop in temperature?
This week is going to be pretty nice, actually. Tomorrow is going to be warmer than it was today. Next week, it's going to start dropping a little, mid-40s, low 30s for the low temperatures, but still not too bad.
Seems like tomorrow will be a nice day, so what do you think we should wear to class tomorrow?
Yeah, you could dress a little nicer than you did today, like a sweatshirt and a vest. You won't need too heavy of a jacket, and you could go with sneakers instead of boots.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Up next, we'll show you some of the best pumpkins NASA has to offer. That's right, we're talking about super space-themed pumpkins.
And tickets for the World Series games between the Indians and Cubs are breaking records as some of the highest prices. Stay tuned for Citrus TV for more.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Taking care of a family member can lead to plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
UNICEF is imploring world leaders to crack down on air pollution. The humanitarian organization has released a report that air pollution kills more children than HIV, AIDS, and malaria combined every year. The report suggests that 600,000 children die annually from diseases caused or worsened by both indoor and outdoor pollution. This report was released in advance of the United Nations Climate Change Conference in Morocco that's going to take place in November. And a new patch may help children overcome allergies to peanuts. The Consortium of Food Allergy Research conducted a test of a new patch that releases peanut proteins into the bloodstream to build cellular tolerance. The patch was proven most effective in children between the ages of 4 and 11. More than 150 children die each year from a food allergy, and more than 150,000 are hospitalized.
General Electric is merging its oil and gas business with Baker Hughes, becoming a major player in the oil field industry. The plunge in energy prices over the last 2 years have forced companies to cut back on the exploration and drilling of new wells. GE says the merger will help cut costs and boost revenue. The new Baker Hughes will be one of the largest suppliers of technology, equipment, and services in the industry. The fantasy sports services DraftKings and FanDuel are set to sign off on a merger between the companies. ESPN reports that an announcement could come as early as next week. The two companies make up around 95% of the daily fantasy sports market, and both have publicly acknowledged talks of a merger. It is unclear if regulators would consider it a monopoly and block the merger. The showdown between the Cubs and Indians is breaking records as Game 5 of the World Series becomes the most expensive sporting event ever. The average ticket price is $6,548, topping the Super Bowl. The game on Sunday will be the last in the series to be played in Chicago, and then the teams will finish the showdown in Cleveland.
NBC announced that Jennifer Lopez will star as Rosie in its live Bye Bye Birdie musical in 2017. NBC's chairman announced the news Thursday and said Lopez actually came up to him with the idea to do the show after she said Bye Bye Birdie was one of her favorite childhood musicals. The musical will be based off the 1960 Tony Award-winning Broadway musical. You may think you're an elite pumpkin carver, but wait until you see the pumpkins carved by NASA engineers. NASA has its annual pumpkin carving contest at its Jet Population Lab, and the pumpkins are, well, you could say, out of this world. Some of the pumpkins were carved into a spinning carousel and a pumpkin that plays a game of Pac-Man. NASA engineer Aaron Yazzie tweeted out his fantastic pumpkins, including one that even has samples from Mars. And now we have Lauren Walsh in studio with a recap of the weekend in sports.
Coming up after the break, we'll fill you in on the latest in postseason play for SU teams. And we're finally talking basketball. Keep it locked on CitrusTV News.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day I found out I had something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
Basketball season is upon us, as is the AP preseason poll. The poll was released earlier today, and Boeheim's boys are ranked 19th in the nation. Syracuse is joined by 4 ACC teams in the top 25 poll. Duke holds the top spot. National runner-up UNC takes number 6. Virginia sits at number 8, and the Louisville Cardinals have the number 13 slot. SU faces 14 teams currently ranked in the AP poll or who have received votes in the poll this season. And Syracuse begins its 2016-17 campaign tomorrow night with an exhibition game against Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Tip-off is set for 7 o'clock in the Carrier Dome. SU returns big men Dajuan Coleman, Tyler Roberson, and transfer Pascal Chukwu from last year's squad. Orange fans will get a chance to see the 3 4-star recruits in Tyus Battle, Matthew Moyer, and Torian Thompson. Grad students Andrew White III and John Gillen are also expected to contribute to Syracuse's deep lineup. And the SU men's soccer team closed out its regular season on Friday with a senior night send-off against Wake Forest. The number 2 Demon Deacons came to Syracuse riding a 4-game win streak, trying to best the number 6 Orange. And Oyvind Alseth getting some love from his coaching staff as his last season in the blue and navy stripes. This was a very physical game. Miles Robinson getting called in the box for an elbow, and he gets a red card in just the 6th minute of play. That's a long time for Syracuse to play a man down. Now Wake Forest putting some pressure on the Orange. Kevin Politz to Luis Argudo, and John Baquero shoots and scores. That one gets by a sliding Hendrik Hilpert, and it's 1-0 Wake Forest in the 23rd minute of play. Now on a set piece, Liam Callahan into the box, and Kamal Miller shoots and scores off the deflection by Ian Harks of Wake Forest. It's tied at 1-1 in the 36th minute of play. Now Wake Forest putting a couple more shots on, but it's saved by Hendrik Hilpert, and after 2 periods of overtime, your final is 1-1 tie. Now, SU field hockey had a slightly more successful senior day. The Orange beat Indiana 3-0 on Sunday to officially end the regular season. Laura Herf, Emma Tufts, and Liz Sack each netted a goal for SU. Next up, Syracuse takes on Wake Forest in the first round of the ACC tournament. That game is in Winston-Salem on Thursday, and the action starts at 1:30. The men's cross-country team is the best in the ACC. Over the weekend, the team won the conference championship for a 5th year in a row, including the Big East Conference title in 2012. Justin Knight continues to dominate for Syracuse. He was the individual champion of the meet with a time of about 22 minutes in the 8K. That was his 3rd individual victory of the season. Next, Syracuse heads to the Bronx to run in the NCAA Northeast Regionals. And former SU punter Riley Dixon is doing big things in the NFL. The now Broncos punter launched a 68-yard punt into Chargers territory on Sunday with about 2 minutes left in the game. Denver sealed the 27-19 win over San Diego with the help of Dixon. He received the game ball along with praise and cheers from players and coaches in the locker room. At Syracuse, Dixon was named to the All-ACC first team after averaging nearly 44 yards per punt on the season.
Lauren, you mentioned Syracuse basketball season, first exhibition game tomorrow. What can fans expect from the men's team this year?
Fans can expect an exciting season, and this is a very deep Syracuse team, as I said. So you're going to look to see a lot of different guys off the bench, which is something we haven't seen much from Syracuse. Jim Boeheim has a lot of options to go for past his starting five.
It'll certainly be fun to watch and fun to see this season. Thanks, Lauren.
Thank you. And we'll be right back with one last look at your weather.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course.
Are your children in the right car seat for their age and size? It may be too late to check when you're on the road. Fortunately, you're on the couch. Don't think you know. Know you know.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent. We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
All right, Galat is back with us. What should we wear to stay warm tonight if we're trick-or-treating?
Yeah, it's going to be in the mid-30s tonight, so you're definitely going to have to wear a jacket over your costume, and if boots look good, wear the boots.
All right,
Thank
perfect.
you so
Thanks.
much. And it is Halloween, and to celebrate, we are taking a look into the past. We have photos of our cast and crew dressed up in our best Halloween costumes from when we were kids. So this first one, this is a photo of me when I was a kid. That's me as a princess. That's my sister.
Love it. Gotta love it. That's
So cute.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's me. I was dressed as Barney. Loved Barney growing up.
So cute. Classic.
I was 3 in that picture.
That's me at 2 years old. I was a pumpkin, and I was posing with some pumpkins.
Oh, honey.
And that would be me as some sort of princess fairy, similar to Lawrence with the wand, a crowd favorite for the little girls there.
Yeah. All right, this is Jessica Torricelli. This is one of our executive producers.
And our other executive producer, Sarah Nevin. Look at that. Oh, princesses are the popular choice.
Yeah.
Look at all these. Wow.
That's Kate Wyant. She was Snow White, and she was a big fan of that wig.
She's one of our associate producers.
Oh, Spider-Man. You knew you had to get a superhero in there somewhere. You guys have a favorite at all in there?
Favorite of those costumes?
Sure, of those costumes. What do you like?
I like the EPs both as princesses.
Yeah.
You got to give credit to the EPs. All right, well, thanks for watching Citrus TV News tonight. I'm Michael Tricarico.
I'm Lauren Anderson. Have a good night.